Hey, what's going on? It's Logan from Logan Outdoors. What's shaking, everybody? This is episode 9 of the 2019 Maine hunting trip. And I really don't have any updates, period. Nothing. I've been really busy with work, and I have been staying inside as much as possible because the allergies right now in Austin, Texas are atrocious. And so staying inside is my best bet to deal with that. But I figured, what the hell? I've got the time. Let's do story time with Logan from Logan Outdoors. What do we got? Back in 2002, I was hunting with my good friends Kitch and Coolio, and we were hunting in a little town called Mercer, Maine. We're at the end of a privately owned airport. I think it's privately owned. It only had one runway. It was very small. It was just for like 2 or 4 seaters, airplanes for people coming in, going to their camps that had money to afford a privately owned airplane, I guess. But we're at the very end of the runway, and Kitch and I were standing at the top of the runway, at the very end of the runway. Basically, the runway ends, and then it's about 100 yards of sand, and then it drops right off into this stuff that's called swale. It's trees that are about maybe 2 fingers wide. They grow about 10 feet. They get all intertwined and everything. You can't see shit through them, so you don't hunt into them because you can't see a damn thing. And if you did see something, you won't be able to swing your rifle around because you had trees right in front of you. So we're standing on the top of this, at the top of it, overlooking. And I don't know what happened or whatnot. We didn't do much, but we jumped a doe out of there. And so Kitch cracked up his Ruger Mini 30 and hit it once or twice, and it ran off to the side right on the wood line where the hardwood started, and sat down underneath a pine tree. And we could see it. We knew we hit it, and we could see it. So we just sat there and had a cigarette. It was back in the day when I used to smoke every now and then. And we just sat there and had a cigarette. Actually, no, wait, we were smoking cigars. So I had a cigar with Kitch, and we sat there because we were like, we'll wait 15, 20 minutes, let it bleed out, and then we can go get it. Because if you go right after it, it was just going to jump into the swamp. We didn't want to go into the swamp because it was a really swampy area. And we're like, fuck this. We're not going near that damn deer. So we'll let it bleed out. So we're just sitting there. And we see Colin. And Colin is on the opposite side of the swale of where we were. And he starts walking towards where the deer is. But he doesn't see the deer. He's just walking in that general direction. And Kitch and I are trying to get his attention. And he's not paying attention or whatnot. And what the hell does he do? He sees that deer laying underneath the tree, thinking it's his day, his day to win the lottery. He rips up what he was shooting, I think at the time, a 45-70, takes a shot at it, misses, and the deer takes off. And we're like, shit, we're going to have to go find this damn deer. So we collect ourselves, go find Colin. Its name's Colin, but we all call him Coolio. We go find Coolio. We tell him what just went down, and he's like, hell. So he joins us, and we start trying to find this deer. Can't track it because there's no snow, and we're all in swamp, so tracking was impossible. But what we had on our side is that the doe was bleeding. Not bleeding like bleeding more blood, but bleeding like making noise, looking for it. It was a doe, so she was looking for a buck to come save her ass. Like, she's like, nah. And we're like, fucking just keep on doing what you're doing. Bring a buck in. We'll blast the buck. We'll take you. We got two deers for the price of one. We were like really excited. Well, about an hour and a half later, we still hadn't found this fucking deer. And it was getting closer to dark. And we finally said, to hell with it. Sorry, we can't get stuck in this place at dark. So we called off the search. Even though we could still hear it, we just could not find it. So I'm walking out. Colin's already to the truck. And I'm walking out. I'm probably 100 yards from the field where we had parked. And I'm going through swamp, but I'm real careful. If you pick your footing correctly, you're going to be all right. Well, I looked down. I was going to put my foot down. And I looked down, and I see about 2 inches of water, and it had leaves underneath it. It was right next to a tree and a sapling. So I'm like, oh, this is a good place to step. I take one big step into it. It's a flippin' spring that had leaves on top of it. And I dropped straight down into it. And I got about maybe 15, 20 pounds of gear with me and my rifle. And I'm down in. And I don't know what happened. I threw my rifle up and it got around the sapling. So I grabbed the barrel of my rifle. I had it on the butt and on the barrel. And I'm hoisting myself out because I got this little sapling. It can't be no bigger than my thumb holding me up because I got my rifle around it. And I hoist myself out. And it's freaking cold. It's about 30 something degrees maybe. And now I'm soaking wet. And I'm pissed because we didn't get the deer. I'm pissed because Colin freaking shot at the deer. If we had just waited 10 more minutes, we wouldn't be in there. But I'm freaking soaking wet and pissed off. So I'm standing off to the side of this thing now. And I figure, I'll wait for Kitch because I can see him coming. And he's coming straight towards me. So I was like, we'll walk out together and make sure we get out of here okay. Well, he gets about 5 feet from me, and I go, hey, dude, just let you know, don't step. And right when I said don't step, he stepped into the same damn thing I did. And he dropped straight down. He, at the time, weighed about 200 pounds, and he had his gear with him. And I grab him by the back of the shirt, and I'm picking him up. Now, look, I'm not saying I'm picking him up. I'm holding him from going any further down because there's no way I can get him out of there. He was too big for me. At the time, I weighed like 165 pounds. And so I'm holding him up, and he's grabbing shit. So I grab his rifle, I throw it. He gets two hands around another tree and gets out of there. And we are head to toe soaked. Rifles are soaked. We both had pistols, and they were covered in water. They had been submerged in water. All our gear was wet. And all we are is fuming at Colin because he shot at that fucking deer. So we walk out. We get to the truck. And I still have the picture. I don't know where it is, but I know I have it. There's a picture that Colin took with a disposable camera because we didn't have cell phone cameras back then. And took a picture of Kitch and I, and we had leaves all over us. Our faces were black with just soot and gunk and just earth. And that was the last time we ever hunted that swamp. We got home, and he told his wife what happened, and she's like, don't ever go there again. And so he called me. He's like, Logie, we can't ever go hunting out in the swamp again. And I was like, thank God. I never wanted to go back there. Hated it. But we did hunt on the end of the airport for a while, at the end of the airport runway. That was a safe place. But then we found out that was privately owned land. We ran into actually like the nephew of the owner or whatnot. A real cool cat. And he's like, hey, man, we don't post it. But it's my family's land, and there's a bunch of us that like to hunt it. And if you guys, would be nice enough not to, so we don't have to post it. And I was like, hey, we were all real cool because it's a small town up there. And so we just said, hey, no problem. Thanks a lot. This is where we stay. I said, if you guys ever change your mind or whatnot, or you guys need extra people in your hunting party, just go on up to the house. We'll be more than happy to help you out. So, but yeah, that was the experience of 2000. I think it was 2 or 2003. And we're never, ever going back to the swamp. I'll never hunt a swamp again in my life. No way. Shit. All right, well, that's episode 9 of 2019 Maine hunting trip from Logan Outdoors. If you got anything to say, let me know. If it's not positive or nice, keep it to yourself. I don't really give a shit. But this is just me telling stories and talking about hopefully making it up to Maine and doing some hunting later on this year in November. Thanks, guys and gals. I greatly appreciate it. And y'all have a good week, okay?